I think, therefore I am. Common sense is the most widely shared commodity in the world, for every man is convinced that he is well supplied with it. It is only prudent never to place complete confidence in that by which we have even once been deceived. The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest minds of past centuries. The greatest minds are capable of the greatest vices as well as of the greatest virtues. Except our own thoughts, there is nothing absolutely in our power. But in my opinion, all things in nature occur mathematically. It is not enough to have a good mind, the main thing is to use it well. If you would be a real seeker after truth, it is necessary that at least once in your life you doubt, as far as possible, all things. Everything is self-evident. The thinking of the mind is twofold, understanding and willing. Those who reason most powerfully and are the most successful at ordering their thoughts so as to make them clear and intelligible will always be best able to persuade others of what they say, even if they speak in the thickest of dialects. It cannot be denied that he has had many exceptional ideas, and that he is a highly intelligent man. For my part, however, I have always been taught to take a broad overview of things, in order to be able to deduce from them general rules, which might be applicable elsewhere. You just keep pushing, you just keep pushing. I made every mistake that could be made, but I just kept pushing. When it is not in our power to determine what is true, we ought to follow what is most probable. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. The very desire to seek the truth often causes people, who do not know how it should be sought correctly, to make judgments about things that they do not perceive, and in that way they make mistakes. It is useful to know something of the manners of different nations, that we may be enabled to form a more correct judgment regarding our own, and be prevented from thinking that everything contrary to our customs is ridiculous and irrational. A conclusion usually come to by those whose experience has been limited to their own country. For the very fact that my knowledge is increasing little by little is the most certain argument for its imperfection. The dreams we imagine when we are asleep should not in any way make us doubt the truth of the thoughts we have when we are awake. Hope is the desire of the soul to be convinced that the dream will come true. To know what people really think, pay regard to what they do, rather than what they say. We do not see the world we see the world we can describe. Whenever anyone has offended me, I try to raise my soul so high that the offense cannot reach it. Gratitude is a species of love, excited in us by some action of the person for whom we have it, and by which we believe that he has done some good to us, or at least that he has had the intention of doing so. Moreover, I am aware that most of the irreligious deny the existence of God, and the distinctness of the human soul from the body, for no other reason than because these points, as they allege, have never as yet been demonstrated. I undertook to conquer myself rather than fortune, and to alter my desires rather than change the order of the world, and to accustom myself to believe that nothing is entirely in our power except our own thoughts. Like a prisoner who dreams that he is free, starts to suspect that it is merely a dream, and wants to go on dreaming rather than waking up, so I am content to slide back into my old opinions. I fear being shaken out of them because I am afraid that my peaceful sleep may be followed by hard labor when I wake, and that I shall have to struggle not in the light but in the imprisoning darkness of the problems I have raised. It is enough that I can understand one thing, clearly and distinctly, without another in order to be certain that one thing is distinct from the other. Conquer yourself rather than the world. It is not enough to have a good mind, the main thing is to use it well. It is not good enough to have good talent, The main thing is to apply it well. If you want to develop your mind, you should think more, not repeat. Divide each difficulty into as many parts as is feasible and necessary to resolve it. Control your body if you want your mind to work properly. I hope that posterity will judge me kindly, not only as to the things which I have explained but also to those which I have intentionally omitted so as to leave to others the pleasure of discovery.